And a very good morning to you. This is Newsline. We're live as always from Dawson Street in Colombo. And it's a wet day out there, but let me wish you at the start of the week a terrific week, an awesome week, safe, sound, and hopefully productive. And this morning, to talk about one thing that all Sri Lankans are familiar with. No, it's not politics, it's corruption. And I thought I'd ask somebody who perhaps knows a thing or two about these things as to how we can, as people, as one people, how we can perhaps control or even the utopian picture, eradicate corruption. There's a gentleman right here in the studio with us who knows a thing or two about all these matters, and he's right here with us, the most recently retired Auditor General of Sri Lanka, the most inimitable Mr. Gamini Vijayasinghe. Very good morning to you.
Very good morning.
Thank you very, very much for being on our program. We really appreciate your presence. I was going to ask you, Mr. Vijayasinghe, after, about 35 years in public service, are you a bit frustrated at the level of corruption?
Of course, because day by day the corruption rate is going up, and there is no control, and even countries getting big income, so nothing will happen inside the country due to the corruption.
Right.
So that is one of the serious issue today.
How do we what do we do? How can you stop it? How can you put a handbrake on it even?
Yeah, that is one of the issue to be answered today. Basically that country law and order is completely outdated, and that should be established firstly.
Right.
So that is the one big area, and the other one is the tender procedure and the especially unsolicited bidding system completely abolished in the country.
Right.
So most of the corruption take place in the especially cabinet appointed tender committee system and the unsolicited bidding system.
Right.
And the same time, if you need more discipline system without corruption, definitely financial regulation to be updated and to be adhered to the financial discipline of the country. For doing all those things, definitely that political system to be changed, because everything is like a cancer inside the system. So without correcting the proper political background or base, I don't think anything can be changed.
When you say to change the political base, what do you mean? What should we do?
Yeah, you have to think about the alternative system instead of present system.
Right.
So present system is completely going without any control and without respect to the law and order, without respect to the prevailing system or integrity. So we need to develop some sort of integrity system in the political arena.
In terms of finance, I noticed last week that the governor of the central bank, Dr. Indrajit Kumaraswamy, he said that the central bank shouldn't have political secretaries. And he went on later to exclusively explain to Newsfirst on the radio that what he meant, he said, was that in the past, the permanent secretaries were permanent secretaries. Ministers came and went, secretaries remained.
Yes,
And what he says is now the appointment of permanent secretaries is not permanent. They're just a pool. And these secretaries are made with political motivations. So he says when at the Treasury, as the Treasury Secretary is on the board of the Monetary Board, what he says is that whenever the government, for political reasons, wants money or whatever it is, they do that they channel that through the Treasury Secretary. And so the central bank isn't independent anymore in that respect. Do you think it's a good idea to have independent secretaries who are nominated by the Constitutional Council or something like that?
Of course, that is the one we are already discussing, already reported in the each and every cases concern.
Yeah.
Because in the constitution under section 52(2),
Yeah.
it has been mentioned about the secretary's powers and everything.
Right.
And the permanent secretary's position, the constitution has been built based on the permanent secretary's concept.
Right.
So now it has been moving out, and when ministers come, so they say bring secretary also.
Yeah.
So he is waiting to go back, go away till ministers goes. So
Right.
then he don't care about the financial discipline and everything, because even they violate that discipline.
Yeah.
So there is a very few areas to get punish him. So that is one of the very serious breakdown of the system. Yeah, you are correct.
And so the central bank will be a stronger place if they didn't have this influence.
Of course, that should be, because central bank should be more independent than today.
Right.
So then only they can go for proper disciplinary monetary system of the country.
And talking about, I just want to ask you one more question about the central bank. We know what happened with the bond and so on. But, Mr. Vijaysekhar, I've heard you say this before when I interviewed you previously in your office as well. The system been put in place by, I think it was Governor A.S. Jayawardena, the late A.S. Jayawardena. That system, I think you described it as being the least cost methodology of issuing, of raising money for the government. Do you still stand by that?
Of course, that is the methods to be applied by the country like Sri Lanka, no, not a country like Sri Lanka, whole globe.
Yeah.
So because we must raise our funds the least cost method rather than going for any other method. There may be different alternative method,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day,
Yeah.
it should be the least cost for the country and for the government. It is still valid.
Thank you. Now I want thank you for your questions. 0772 300 305. We're in conversation with the most recently retired Auditor General of Sri Lanka, Mr. Gamini Vijayesinghe, and your questions have already started coming in, so thank you. Who started the practice of bringing their own secretaries? Can this be changed to what it was?
Yeah, it can be changed because the system is there. So now they are not accepting the system and
Right.
try to push in political pressure,
Right.
and they demanding their own secretaries. So that is wrong. Actually, that SLA service is far powerful and far better people is there. So then second thing is still even after 19th Amendment.
Yeah.
So appointing secretaries still remain with the president sole authority.
I
So
see.
he has that power. So he should exercise that power. So all the ministers are concerned. He is sole authority to appointing secretaries.
I
So,
see.
but he don't practice it. That's one serious.
That's right, and I think that in the matter of Dr. P.B. Jayasundara, when the president asked him to come back and be the Treasury Secretary after some court case previous to that, the Supreme Court was asked whether he was able to withdraw his affidavit in which he had undertaken not to seek public office again as a result of that previous proceedings. But the Supreme Court, they only spoke about this section in the Constitution and said that under that section, the President can appoint whoever he deems fit as Secretary. Is that the same thing that you talked about?
Yeah, of course, but top of that, there must be a integrity, no? So we are assuming that president is working on
With
behalf of with integrity on behalf of the government.
Right.
So, but if you try to bring unnecessary people to that, he's having there's no identification of the defining that who is going to appoint, but there's a system.
Right.
So he should adhere to that system.
You know, you held in sort of high esteem by the people. I have still to find somebody who's critical of you. I haven't found anybody. Nobody's told me. So I want to ask you, what's the way forward? What should we do step by step to control this cancer?
Yeah, that is one of serious question, and basically I understood that law and order to be established in this country.
Yeah.
So that is not a big thing because system is there, but it
Yeah.
won't follow it up by the dirty political pressure. So that system should be updated. At the same time, it should be followed up. That's one thing. Secondly, that financial regulation must be updated and must be followed, because financial discipline is completely
What do you mean by lack of financial discipline? At which aspect?
So of course, that is one is cases is bond issue, no. So
Right.
that is violated, and
Okay.
you can have a very good example in recent Silridi case,
Yeah.
and that court case has been clearly stated that how the financial regulation was violated by the that official. So that should not be done in future. And if you have a systematic financial regulations and people adhere to that regulation, most thing can be corrected. At the same time, as we explained earlier, that tender procedure is one of the most corrupted in Sri Lanka. So especially a cabinet appointed tender committee system, and especially unsolicited bidding system to
But
be
they,
changed.
but they also have, within the cabinet, they've also got a special cabinet. Well, I don't think it have it now, but they did have at the beginning. Cabinet Committee on Economic Management, CCEM. That seemed to be the most powerful cabinet.
But we can see some
Well, yeah.
outcome. No?
But that's what I mean. But you have
yes, come out. Yes.
okay. So, and what is the role of the chief accounting officers in these? And they are usually the ministry secretaries.
Yeah, based on the present law, financial regulation, as well as 19th Amendment and Constitution, everything. So, chief accounting officer is the most responsible person for the government money, and
Right.
accountability and responsibility for delivering the performance of their institution. So he must be sole responsible person, even there is any political interference. So end of the day, under the present law, he is a responsible person in front of the law. So he has to think about that first. And most of the institutions are concerned that performance is not delivered. No, so is more performance what they demanding by the country and the those institutions. So that also again diluted by for last so many years. So now they also not much concerned, and end of the day, even they don't reach their performance and duties. No penalty, no risk, and no problem. No, so he's getting transferred to another place, and yeah, just happily living in this country.
Living happily ever after.
Yes.
From the public perspective, how do we force that change to happen?
Yeah, especially without political will, I don't think anything can be done in the country, because it is this virus has been going each and every corner of the government service and in the country. So uncorrupted, without that with integrity, and there is a political system to be bring in this country. So then everything can be overnight start applying to the system. So because you know that we have a good system, and we need so much of amendment or updating those things, but still system is there. So I suppose that present dirty political system not ready for any change, and they can't do it because they are coming with all the corruption and corrupted system is there, and they adhere to that system.
As citizen Vijay Singer, are you, when you in retirement, when you stand back and you look to see what's happening, does it give you some hope when you see in the press that some aspect of the bond scam is being prosecuted, does that give you some satisfaction or some hope?
Actually, I am not much concerned about that angle, because it is not, it is completely beyond my control, because I have completed my part.
Yeah.
Balance is remain with other institutions.
Yeah.
But I am very much happy to say that central bank has given assurance that that type of problems never come future again. So they tighten up their system. So that is one of the big achievement by the country,
Right.
and by the system.
To make sure that potentially it will never happen again.
Yeah, that again, I don't know whether new political system
Okay.
get do the same thing, but still that governor and central bank has given assurance to Auditor General, and they have changed all the system and tighten all this system to not to happen that type of practice again.
Right. So you think, but you know, from my perspective, it seems very unfair that these people who robbed the public, basically, that's what it is, that now they're getting away with it.
Of course, I also agreed, but if they don't want to bring it back, if they don't want to correct it, and if they don't want to punish them to the fraud whatever they done, so what can we do? Because we are innocent party, and we have one of the responsibility has been given to disclose those things, and we have done our part. So everything based on the political will. So if they are love this country, if they need to bring those money back to the system,
Yeah.
so they can do it, because system, all the systems are working based on the political will today in Sri Lanka.
I want to ask you one question, but before I'll ask you this, because that leads to the one I'm going to ask you. And that is, what is, in your view, what is your biggest achievement as the Auditor General of Sri Lanka?
Yeah, it's a very good question. And basically, I happened with the my team and the help of the especially the President Auditor General. He did the big role of bringing the audit act to the system. So that is one of the big achievement for develop good governance of the country. And secondly, I declared the what is the responsibility and position of the Auditor General. So that is one of the another big achievement in my tenure for last 3.5 years. And I felt that only independent post in the government service in Sri Lanka is Auditor General. So I declared that properly. At the same time, I declared to the country that who are the corrupted people in this country, and what is the secret areas of corruption in this country. I also happened with all the help of my team of the department, and I declared to the people. That is, I think that is a most three major achievement during my tenure.
Well, you know, on behalf of our viewers, and certainly on behalf of our group, I want to say, you know, very well done, and we're happy that this is, because long term it's going to uplift all the people in the country, not just a few.
Yes,
And so I'm sure that up there will give you many points, many merits you will gain. And so thank you for that. But, you know, Mr. Vijay Singh, the people, generally speaking, are suffering. Our government movement has identified village to village, home to home. The suffering is incredible. I met a couple who were diabetics, and they were given some tablets, and they lived so remote, and they couldn't possibly afford to go and buy these things. So the man said, oh, I'm supposed to take 2, but I just take 1. and the same with his wife. And other places they had to walk 4-5 kilometers to get water. And these people are not shouting and they're not screaming.
Of course.
They're just quietly getting on with they're getting on with the suffering. And so when you see in the press about the billions that people make by cheating the people, there is a certain sense of anger, there's a certain sense of frustration, certainly. And how do we really get to the grips? How can we stop them? Do we need to prosecute somebody and put that person in jail to send a powerful message?
Yeah, again, we have to think about the political will. If political will is not there, because now they have mixed up everything, because keeping people in happy and develop a country is a two different scenario.
Right.
So first we have to keep people happy.
Yeah.
So that completely avoided area. And they are trying to develop the country by building buildings and all those things, right? So because that is the area to get that easily get the commission and bring their pocket full.
Right.
So that most of expenditure they transfer into getting that big infrastructure development and building buildings and all those things. So but people are suffering, and the same time if you need to keep people happy,
Yeah.
so only thing is we have to give them for a fair price for their product. So then half of the people can live happily in the village side, no? So but nobody is think about that, and everybody is trying to build a huge infrastructure, huge building and things like that, because that is the easiest way to bring money out of the system.
But you know, in this Gammada thing, and I haven't spent half as much of the time I ought to on Gammada, but from what I've seen and what I've observed, it's absolutely incredible, the level of frustration and the level of suffering amongst the people, and they only come into play every election time. Then these guys will go around and canvass the vote and promise the whole world, but they don't deliver anything, and that's very sad. And we do feel that if there is one prosecution, then that will be a shining example. It will have to be a politician. It will have to be a minister of, I don't know who, but whoever's done wrong. Do you think that will be the catalyst for change?
Yeah, of course, one of the big area, because as I know very well, the last 2-3 years we have issued a special report, more than 40 special report. Out of those 40 report, there are billions of rupees we have shown that corruption taken place, especially rice import case, total loss is 15 billion. And the coal case, coal company import is another billion, and the livestock import from Australia, another more than, I suppose, 8 billion or something. So nobody's care about those billions, no? So if you bring those money back to the country, so all those people can keep happily. But who is caring about that? Nobody is care about that, no?
For Mr. Vijay Singh, for the benefit of because I'm getting some questions about this, for the benefit of our population, of our viewers, some of our viewers who actually follow this program, but they want you to say it in Sinhalese so that they can understand this. Can you tell us what needs, in Sinhalese, what needs to be done to stop corruption or to make corruption less? What is your steps? You said it in English before. In Sinhalese, please.
First, I have to say Sinhala.
Yes, please.
මේක ඇත්තටම තනිකරම ඡන්දදායකින්ගේ කැමැත්ත. මොකද ඒ මිනිසුන්ට අවශ්‍යතාවය, රටේ ජනතාවට අවශ්‍යතාවය නැති තැන කරප්ටඩ් මිනිස්සු ආපහු මෙතනට තියලා තියෙනනේ. එතකොට හෙට දවසෙත් කරප්ෂන් නම් ඉල්ලන්නේ. ඉතින් කරප්ටඩ් කට්ටියක් ගෙනල්ලා කරප්ෂන්ස් ඩෙවලොප් කරගන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් මේ අවංකව වැඩ කරන ඉන්ටග්‍රිටි එක තියෙන අවංකව රටට සේවය කරන්න කොටසක් මේ පත් කරගෙන මොකද මේක සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම තියෙන්නේ පොලිටිකල් සිස්ටම් එක මත පොලිටිකල් සිස්ටම් එක කරප්ටඩ් නිසා රටම බද දූෂණයට භාජනය වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් දූෂණයෙන් තොර සිස්ටම් එකක් ගෙනීමේ වගකීම තනි කරන් තියෙන්නේ මේ චූටි කතරේට. ඉතින් ඒක ක්‍රමානුකූලව භාවිත කරොත් මේ වැඩේ ඇත්තටම කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඉන් මෙහා තැනක් දකින්න ඇත්තටම අමාරුයි. මොකද හේතුව ඒක තමයි මේ ෂේඩ් එක. ඒක යට තමයි මේ ඔක්කොම දේවල් සිද්ධ වෙන්නේ. ඒ නිසා මේ කරප්ටඩ් ෆ්‍රී පොලිටිකල් සිස්ටම් එක රටට ගේන තුරු මේ දේ ඇත්තටම කරන්න බෑ කියන සිටුේෂන් එක තමයි මම තේරුම් අරන් තියෙන්නේ මේ පහුගිය කාලේ තිබුණ සිස්ටම් එකත් එක්ක.
ඒ කියන්නේ මිස්ටර් විල්සිංහ ඒ චේන්ජ් එක තියෙන්නේ මහ ජනතාවගේ අතේ.
ඔය ඉතින් මේකේ සවරන්ටි තියෙන්නේ මහ ජනතාවටනේ. එතකොට මහ ජනතාව ඉල්ලන්නේ ඒක නම් ඉතින් ඒක තමයි හම්බෙන්නේ. එතකොට දැන් හෙට දවසෙත් ඒකම තමයි වෙන්නේ. මොකද හේතුව අපිට දැන් දූෂිතයෝ කියන කොටස හඳුනගෙන ඉවරයිනේ රට. එතකොට නැවතත් චීරක දෙන්න එහෙම නැත්නම් අපි පිටිපස්සෙන් යන්නේ මේ දූෂිතයෝ පිටිපස්සේ නම් ඉතින් හෙට දවසෙත් මේක පාලනය කරන්නේ දූෂිතයෝ තමයි ඉතින්. ඒකේ වෙනසක් නැහැ. නමුත් ඊට එහා යනවා නම් ඇත්තටම දැන් විශේෂයෙන්ම ඕල්ටර්නේටිව්ස් බලවේග ගොඩනගෙනවා මේ අවංක වැඩ කරන මිනිස්සු එනවා ඉදිරියට ඔවුන් හොයාගෙන ගිහිල්ලා ඔවුන්ට යම් කිසි ආකාරයකට මේ බලය විශේෂයෙන්ම ජනාධිපති තනතුර that should be unpolitical position. ඒක තමයි අනුභව ව්‍යවස්ථාවේ තියෙන්නේ. So if he is not a politicized person, so completely system can be changed. But we need parliament power. But still there are so much of power still available with the president. So he the person is you know that සේනාධි නායකයා ආණ්ඩුවේ නායකයා විධායකයේ නායකයා ඊළඟට සියලුම අමාත්‍යංශ ලේකම්වරු පත් කරන්නේ තාමත් ජනාධිපති ඊළඟට විගණකාධිපති සහ තනතුරු පත් කරන්නේ හමුදාපති පොලිස්පති පත් කරන්නේ ජනාධිපති තාම ඊළඟට විදේශ දානපතිරු සියලු දෙනා පත් කරන ජනාධිපති ඔක්කොම බලය තාමත් තියෙන්නේ ජනාධිපතිතුමාට තමයි.
So ජනාධිපතිතුමාට තියෙනවා මේ බලය.
Still it is there. Yeah, even
19th amendment
everything is available with a small adjustment. But he can do it.
And it can be done.
It can be done.
It can be done. Sometime in this conversation you use the word, I think one of our viewers is saying that this is the key word. You said love the country.
Yeah.
If you love the country, I love this country, I'm sure you do. People love the country. But you know, if I'm going to vote and I've got a list and they're all the same names, what can I do?
Of course, that is the basic issue, because if that intellectuals won't come to the present for political arena, so nobody can people can't do anything. But I think now they are ready to come forward and with the integrity. So we have to select the one alternative system rather than present system. So then it can be changed. So that is the sole way to change this country.
No, sorry, Mr. Singh, retired Auditor General. Because once, anyway, to me, you're like the president, because once a president, always president. Once Auditor General, especially with integrity, then you are, in my book, always the Auditor General. So I want to ask you this. Do you think in your lifetime this system can we really change it? Will there be somebody who comes up to be that president and who's not frightened to use the powers that are available to the presidency to make this change?
Yeah, of course, that if he is coming independently without any political back, so that can be done, because he is not a corrupted person and he is not influenced by any corrupted people. So then constitutional authority is available, so he can start make these changes, and then people also will move in that side, because everybody knows that the system is corrupted, and if he has some sort of chance to show that new system is far value than the present system, and if you get the results to the country, definitely it will get changed.
What's your message to the people?
Yeah, message should be, actually this system should be changed. So you have to find this alternative system instead of present system, because everybody knows that for last 71 years they have failed to develop this country. So that the system going on is completely failed, and they are going to follow that same system, and that means even another 5 years it won't happen, that development won't come to the country. And the same time that you have to identify what is the difference between development and happiness of the people. So first you have to find the happy people in the country, so then only we can go for the development. So if somebody is willing to do that type of system, country can be changed, because without happiness people, so you what is the development we are going to reach to this country?
I have a message from the duty director of Sinhalese News. He says, can you say that last bit in Sinhalese, please? How do we do it? You talked about happiness.
ඇතරම මේ ඉස්සල්ලාම මේක දෙකට කඩා ගන්න ඕනේ. මේ සතුටෙන් ජීවත් වෙන සමාජයක් තමයි සංවර්ධනය කරන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. ඒතකොට සංවර්ධනය කියන්නේ සතුටනේ, මොකද සතුට කියන්නේ සල්ලි එක්කම යන කාරණයක් නෙවෙයි. ඒ නිසා මිනිස්සුන්ට සතුටෙන් ඉන්න සමාජයක් ගොඩනගලා තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ සඳහා ඇත්තටම මිනිස්සුන්ට ආත්මගරුත්වයෙන් ජීවත් වෙන්න පුළුවන් වැඩපිළිවෙලක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. ඒ වැඩපිළිවෙල ප්‍රධාන දේ තමයි ලංකාවෙන් 150ක් ජීවත් වෙන කුෂිකර්මාන්තයෙන්. ඒ නිසා ඔවුන්ට සාධාරණ උන්ගේ නිෂ්පාදන වල සාධාරණ මිලක් දෙන්න ඕන, ඔවුන්ට හිඟන්න බඩ පරිවර්තන කරන්නේ නැතුව. එතකොට ඒගොල්ල කෙලින් නැගී සිටිනවා. ඒ නිසා ඔවුන්ට සතුටෙන් රටෙන් භාගයක් සතුටෙන් ජීවත් වෙනවා. ඒ ජීවත් වෙන සමාජයක පුළුවන් සංවර්ධනය කරන්න. හැබැයි එතනට අද යන්නෙම නැහැ. මොකද හේතුව පහුගිය 71 වර්ෂෙම මේ අරන් ගිය අර දුප්පත්කම එලිපත්තේ තියා පාලනය කිරීමේ ක්‍රමවේදය තමයි මේ යන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ දුප්පත්කමෙන් උඩට ගත්තොත් අර ඔබ කියන විදිහට මේ ඉලෙක්ෂන් එකට ටකරමක් දීලා එහෙම නැත්නම් සිමෙන්ති කොටයක් දීලා ඡන්දය අරගන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ. ඒ නිසා එතනින් උඩට එන්න අවස්ථාව සලසලා දෙන්නේ නැහැ. උඩට ගන්න පුළුවන් කමක් නැහැ මේ සබ්සිඩිස් දීලා. ඒකට කරන් දෙන්න පුද්ගලයා ආත්මකරුත්වෙන් තියන්න ඔහුට සාධාරණ මිලක් දෙන විතර ඔහුගේ නිෂ්පාදන වලට. ලංකාවේ ආරක්ෂාව ගැන කතා කරලා අපි කතා කරන්නේ ඩිෆෙන්ස් සිකියුරිටි ඩිෆෙන්ස් විතරයි. ඊට වඩා ගොඩක් වැදගත් වෙනවා ආර්ථික ආරක්ෂාව. Economic security. Lanka economic security na everything has been open to everybody can and sells everything in Sri Lanka. Our industry අපේ industry ඔක්කොම ඉන්සාද කඩා වැටලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒකට අවශ්‍ය security එක දෙන රජයක් තමයි ඇත්තටම අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ. එහෙම කළොත් එහෙම ඉතාමත්ම කෙටි කාලෙකින් මේ තත්ත්වය වෙනස් කරන්න පුළුවන් ඇත්ත රටේ.
On Newsline, we ask the best questions, and I've left the best question to the last. Listen up. Mr. Gavani Vijayasinghe, are you going to be a presidential candidate? Are you going to try and fix these problems?
Actually, there's no intention in my personal view, and there's no such agenda. But still, that there are a group of several groups of people and demanding me for bail out this country, and but still there's no such program. But all the pressure group and all the civil societies and they get together and try to put up one candidate. So for that concern, they are searching yet for a suitable person. And they have nominated my name also, but I have no any personal.
But if they ask you, you will say yes?
Yeah, because I don't want to answer that question, because it is that personally I like to help a person who is try to come up, and we will see in within another 2 weeks time who is the alternative candidate to nominate in the alternative party.
What an absolutely wonderful, wonderful, patriotic man you are. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
That's the way it was on Newsline. We wish you a wonderful week ahead, and we just hope and pray for more people like Gamini Vijayasinghe, the most recently retired Auditor General of Sri Lanka. Take care.
Thank
and
you.
God bless.
News First Newsline with Faraz Shaukat Ali.